There's a place on this planet where the closest human beings aren't on the planet. No country claims it. No ship lingers there. But for 50 years, the world space agencies have been aiming their dying machines at this one exact spot with extreme precision. You're about to learn what this place is, what's lying on the seafloor beneath it, and why it had to be there. Take the Pacific Ocean, half the planet's water, and find its most forgotten corner. Latitude 48 south, longitude 123 west. Scientists call it Point Nemo. In Latin, Nemo means no one. It's named for Captain Nemo, the sailor who wanted to disappear. And here's the strange part. Nobody could even locate this point until 1992. That's when a survey engineer named Hervoye Lucatila finally computed it. Why would any sailor ever come here? There's no reason to, because when researchers studied the water around it, they found something unsettling. Almost nothing. Point Nemo sits inside the South Pacific Gyre, a slow whirlpool of currents wider than a continent. Those currents wall the water off. No rivers reach it. Almost no nutrients drift in. Ultraviolet light hammers the surface, uninterrupted. The result is the largest ocean desert on Earth. Some of the deadest, clearest seawater ever measured. What kind of ocean is too empty to feed plankton? This one, out here, the food chain barely exists. But the emptiest water on Earth is not empty. Look down. Roughly 4 kilometers down, the seafloor is littered with machines. Since 1971, more than 250 spacecraft have been deliberately sunk into this region. Russian cargo ships, European supply craft, Japanese freighters, 6 entire Salyut space stations. And in March 2001, the giant, Mir, 25 tons of it survived the fire and hit this water, about the weight of 2 loaded city buses. Re-entry burns at thousands of degrees. So what actually survives a fall through fire? The dense stuff? Titanium fuel tanks wrapped in scorched fiber. The bones of the space age, resting in the dark where no light has ever reached. But before you learn why they chose this water, you should know something else. A horror writer found this place first. In 1928, H.P. Lovecraft invented a sunken city of nightmares and gave it coordinates. 47 south, 126 west. Point Nemo wouldn't be calculated for more than 6 decades. It landed eerily close to Lovecraft's imaginary grave. A lucky guess? As far as anyone can tell, pure coincidence. He couldn't have known. Then in 1997, underwater microphones caught a sound near this region louder than a blue whale. Sensors 5,000 kilometers apart heard it. Researchers called it the bloop. For years, people whispered about something enormous moving in the deep. The answer was ice. NOAA traced the sound to giant icebergs fracturing near Antarctica. No monster. But the real reason machines come here to die is stranger than any legend. Here it is. Point Nemo is the single point in the ocean farthest from any land on Earth. The nearest rock is 2,688 kilometers away, in every direction. That's farther than London to Moscow, with nothing in between but water. When something falls from orbit, it doesn't land on a dot. Debris scatters along a corridor well over 1,000 kilometers long. So the agencies needed the biggest, emptiest target on the planet. No shipping lanes, no islands, no people. This is it. But that's only half the answer. Because the loneliest place on Earth has neighbors. When the International Space Station passes 400 kilometers overhead, its astronauts are the closest human beings to Point Nemo. The nearest people to Earth's loneliest place aren't on Earth. And in 2024, NASA gave SpaceX a contract worth up to $843 million for a demolition job. Its mission: drag the 430-ton station, heavier than a loaded jumbo jet, out of the sky, planned for 2031, and bury it here in the same water that swallowed Mir. The biggest thing humanity ever built in space is still flying over its own grave. If you could sink one message into the deepest silence on Earth, what would it say? Tell me below. Turn to chaos.